All right, let's talk a little bit about a short thing about Parashat HaShavua. It says, "V'tisa kol ha'eda v'yitnu et kulam v'yivku ha'am ba'alayla ha'u." And that night, when the Meraglim came, everybody was crying. The whole nation was whipping like a bunch of girls. Vayalunu al Moshe ve'al Aaron kol bnei Yisrael, and they complained about Moshe and Aaron. Vayamru elehem kol ha'eda, and all the Chevra over there says, "Lumatnu b'Mitzrayim." Right? It would have been better off for us to die in Egypt. Or b'midbar hazeh. Even here in this desert, it would have been good. ולמה השם מביא אותנו אל הארץ הזאת, ליפול בחרב, נשנו וטפנו יהיו לבוז, to die for us in the sword and for wives to fall captive? That's a loser mentality, man. It's a loser mentality. ולמה השם מביא אותנו and so on and so forth, הלא טוב לנו שוב מצרים, let's go back to Egypt. What are you? Right? ויאמרו איש אל אחיו, and they say, "Nitena rosh v'nashuva mitzrayim." Let's appoint to us a new leadership, and let's go back to Egypt. Here goes that window. So the will of Bnei Israel to give themselves a new leadership, לתת לראשם rosh, to give themselves a head figure, a leadership. It really seems as, if you go to the Pshat, to nominate themselves a new leader, instead of Moshe, that is going to lead the people back to Egypt. And look at Rashi, look at Onkelos, exactly as it says over there. But the Natziv says something very, very beautiful in Sefer Ha'amek Davar. It says, Kashe, it's a little difficult for me. Why? Lema yodia katuv retzunam ech yeshuvu. Why does the Pasuk tells me how did they wanted to go back? Right? ומה מקרא חסר שאמרו נשובה מצרימה? Why is it saying נשובה מצרימה? Go back to Egypt. What is the need in this? In other words, what's the need in giving me the details how you're going to come back to Egypt? Just pack your stuff and go. Let's appoint ourselves ahead and then we'll go to Mitzrayim. Just go to Mitzrayim. And that's why the Natziv explains that expression, which is very important, the expression of Nitena Rosh, and he has a different take on that. And it's really what, somewhat connection to what, to the words of Chazal that Rashi brings. It says, Rabotenu pirshu leshon avodah zara. Chazal said, let's do avodah zara. And it says, אלא באר הכתוב, שנמצא עוד כת גרוע מכולם. The Pasuk tells us there's even a worse group of all, שהאמינו ביכולת ברצון השם להביאם בשלום, אבל הם לא רצו בביאת ישראל שיהיו מוכרחים לחוף את ראש עול מלכות שמיים. They believed that Hashem could bring him to Israel. But they didn't want to. They didn't want to go. הם לא רצו בביאת ארץ ישראל. They didn't want to go to Israel. שיהיו מוכרחים לחוף ראש תחת עול מלכות שמיים. And why didn't they want to go to Eretz Israel? Very simple. Because we do know, the Gemara tells us, that all the mitzvot was given to them before, but they didn't take place until they entered the land. It wasn't because of the fear of the goyim, of the nations of the land, and so on and so forth. They didn't want to do mitzvot. They did not want to commit themselves to the jurisdictions of Hashem as it would apply to them as soon as they entered the land. That was and that's the worst group of all. They know Hashem can do everything. They just don't want to accept his authority. Al ken amru, that's why they say nitena rosh. Let's appoint a leader to us. Aleinu liyot bershut atzmeinu. We have to be on our own leaders, our own things. We don't have to have Hashem. And why? Nashuva Mitzrayim. We should go to Egypt. Why Egypt? Because in Egypt, אין שם all Torah ve'avodah. There is no obligation to do Torah, to learn Torah, and to do Avodat Hashem. To our days today, Torah still stays the same thing. Guess what? I gotta learn. Avodah will be what you do, tefillah and so on and so forth. When people tell you, I don't want to learn because of Parnasa, and I said to them, but who gives you the Parnasa? It's not that you care so much about the Parnasa, more that you don't care to learn. Because if you know, I mean, who gives you all the koach la'asot chayil, to do well? Hashem gives it to you. Who is the reason why you? Hashem does. You know that, but you don't want to do it, so you make an excuse. It's yeshiva costs a lot of money. Well, I'll tell you, okay, how about if I'll send you yeshiva? I mean, you tell me yeshiva costs a lot of money. Let me tell you that. How much money you pay in taxes? A lot. Imagine you didn't have to pay the school. And listen, in Long Island, you go to Long Island, a major chunk of the taxes, they pay 30, 40, 20, $1,000 a year for taxes. There's certain places they've been over 100. If you're going to take the school tax out, you're going to pay pennies on a dollar. So if I'm going to tell you this, listen, it's money from your pocket that you pay. Take half of the money that you pay for taxes, for the schools, and send your kid to yeshiva. You're going to tell me to send a kid to yeshiva for like $8,000, $10,000? That's a lot of money. You know how much is you paying to educate a kid in a public school? You don't see it, but you're actually paying. A normal kid is like $30,000. If you have a kid who's special ed, you're talking about $100,000 and more. Who's paying for that? You pay for it. So it's not about anything else. It's just about you don't want to be mekabel all Torah mitzvot and avodat Hashem. Rabbi, I really don't have time to daven. I gotta go to work. I have to work. I don't have time to daven. I mean, anus, Torah, patra. It was exactly because I'm an anus. What do you mean you're anus? You daven to Hashem. You don't want to send, fine, not a problem. Hashem will make sure you lose your job. You have plenty of time to daven. Oh, then you're gonna tell me I'm busy looking for a job. Why is the underlining? Why aren't you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Don't give me the stories, the fancy stories that you're telling me or you're telling yourself all the time. I have to parnasa. I mean, after all, it's expensive. So I told the women the other day, it's expensive here. It's okay, fine. Take your stuff, go somewhere else. What? You live and die in New York? Go somewhere else. Go where it's cheaper. So what do they say? Well, if it's going to be cheaper now, everybody's going to move. It's going to be expensive. I say, yeah, but you're already there. What do you care? It's expensive in New York. Not a problem. Move to Phoenix. You don't want to move in Phoenix? Move to Arizona. Move to Lakewood. Move somewhere. But don't use that as an excuse not to learn. It's not that you are really so concerned with Parnasa. Because if you were so concerned with Parnasa and money, believe me, you would not spend your money so carelessly as you do. On shtuyot, on nonsense. It's not about that. It's because you don't want to learn. And that is the worst, he said, the worst of the worst, this group of people. And according to the Netziv, again, it's to be in your own, under your own jurisdiction, to be chofshi from Torah and mitzvot. And they see the Torah mitzvot as a davar ra, chas v'shalom, as a bad things, and we need to do something, whatever we can in the power not to get into. They were willing to die in the desert. I mean, you gotta be out of your mind. You need to die in the desert. You would rather die in the desert, just not to enter an Eretz Israel and to live like a free man, and to do. What is wrong with you? maybe this is why later on Jews had to really give themselves to keep Torah and mitzvot. That's why Hashmonaim, when they made the merit against the Mityavnim, it was all for Torah and mitzvot. That, we have to, from this point and on, give the Mesirut Nefesh, to show the Mesirut Nefesh to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for his Torah and mitzvot, is to overcome what these people did. And you know what? Still doing it today. So, and the Netziv says this group was, and by the way, this is not only a concept of the people of that time alone, but it was throughout history, all the time, all throughout history. For example, if you want to look, we have it here. I think look at the Ramban later on in Perek Tetvav Pasuk Chavbet when he talks about this. But according to this concept of Garua Mikol, this is the worst group of people of all, according to the Netziv, which is, again, it was a very small group of people, and he learns us from the expression Vayomru ish el achiv, and they say one man to another. They say Nitena Rosh. So this is a small group of people that basically rotted out the whole concept of Am Yisrael, put the fear in Am Yisrael. And again, they did not have a doubt about the Kadosh Baruch Hu abilities to bring him to Eretz Yisrael and to fulfill his promises to them. No, not at all. But they just didn't want to. They didn't want to get into Eretz Yisrael because of the wrong view about what does it mean to be a Jew and to enter the land as free men, but only committed to Hashem. They didn't want to do that. Another thing that we need to emphasize, based on the Netziv, if you read it further down in his words, is that opinion did not generate itself just from the return of the Meraglim. It didn't just come all of a sudden, or the spice came and so on and so forth. It says they had this opinion for a long time, but they were too afraid to vocalize that. And therefore they used the opportunity of the Meraglim to come to really express it out. They were waiting for the right time to put the poison in. Because if they would say it beforehand, people would stone them. But they used that incident of the spies coming in and creating the opportunity, so they just seized the opportunity and they put it on like this, and they themselves understood the severity of the words, and that's why they didn't say it beforehand. But there was an opportunity. That's why a person always should say good things. When you say good things, you don't allow bad influences to penetrate in you. In a way, saying good things is maintaining a certain spiritual immune system. But when your immune system is down, then a virus can come in. It doesn't get zapped by your immune system. And that's how a lot of the poison in communities open up. And that's why if you have a group of people and you're always nice and accommodating and so on and so forth, nice, I'm accommodating them, then not appeasing, right? So therefore nobody can have a claim against you. However, one time you said to this guy, I'm sorry, I can't, I have to give it to him. That netara, that bug will come in and then will poison the whole entire thing. Because they say one bad apple ruins the whole box, right? Or the whole bushel or whatever the rules. You know what I'm saying, right? So that's and we need to, therefore we need to stand guard for that. So the Netziv answers that, and it says, "B'shat machloket kol echad motzi rucho machshavto bli pachad." When there is machloket, when there is division, everybody says whatever they want without any fear of consequences whatsoever. That's another reason why we have to stay away from machloket. We have to be united. And the only place that we could be united is around HaKadosh Baruch Hu and His way of life and His Torah. And we have to remember this. We all committed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and His Torah. You can't escape from it. Any excuse that you come not to is an excuse to run away from God. And of course, if you will be very ashamed to do so, Until there is a machlok, there's an argument, and then you say, "Excuse me," and then you spew your poison out. And this is something that they had beforehand when they were talking about the last week's parasha. We say, "Ish lepetach oalo," each one to the opening of his tent. Shaya omed bapetach umedaber la'asher oalo b'nei bito. He used to stand in the opening of the gate of the tent, and he used to speak up to his people. Why? His family, his wife. But why do you need to stand ish petach oalo? Because it's not only for the people in the house. You want your words to be heard outside as well. You want to create this wave of gossip coming out. You want to say something said inside the house. So it's really to instigate. When the words were out, and they came out only because there was a machloket, only because there was a doubt in God, and that's what it is. That's why we have to eradicate machloket and arguments from us. We should open, discussions, but not arguments. And we have to understand that we all committed to Hashem. But we're very passive aggressive. We won't say, okay, I'm not doing so. Yeah, the reason why I'm not learning Torah is because I don't believe, or so on and so forth. You say something else, you say parnasa. Once you said it, now you became vulnerable. Now I can continue poisoning you. Because let's say I'm the virus carrier, so I'm poisoning you like that. So when we talk about machloket, division, it's not necessarily, we always say machloket between two people or group of people. But I'm talking about also eradicate the machloket, the division inside of you. Between what you know is right and what you know is wrong. You need to commit yourself and to unify not only your community and your household, but also your own self, and commit yourself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. If not, Rabotai, the house will be destroyed. And we don't want this to happen. So let's all unite around Hashem and His Torah, and wish all Shabbat Shalom.